Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
Great. You want to start, Michelle, or should I?
I will let you introduce yourself, but hi everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Today we're going to discuss the evolution from CCIM candidacy to designee. So thank you for joining. We have a pretty good turnout today, and Lexi will be guiding us through this evolution. I will be here. I'm your marketing chair for CCIM Greater Los Angeles chapter. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat along with your email address. I'll be monitoring the chat, and at the end of the presentation, we'll be addressing any of your questions. And for questions that we don't have time to get to, we'll send those with your email address to Craig Lieberman, who is our candidate guidance chair. And with no further ado, Lexi, let's have it.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you for coming, everyone. I'm Lexi Moriarty. I'm with Oxia Real Estate Advisors, and I'm also the CCIM LA chapter education co-chair. My partner in crime with that is Sharon Kars. She's on this Zoom as well. And I think Michelle went over our housekeeping with the questions. It's just that we have a lot of material today, so I want to make sure we get through all of it. Let's see. So we're going to talk about the steps to get your accreditation and to actually get your designation. The CCIM stands for Certified Commercial Investment Member, and it signifies the person who holds the CCIM designation. It signifies that they do have expertise in financial, market, and investment analysis in commercial real estate. So the benefits of the designation are that it's recognized around the country. One of my friends on a meeting the other day said, well, CCIMs, they know how to value property, and they're very professional. But it really is a highly respected designation because it's only given to people who have proven experience and a commitment to ethics and deal making. You also have access to this global network of over 13,000 members. And then, of course, there's the education, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. The benefits of membership to CCIM. Number one, you save a ton of money on the courses, and we'll get into what the courses are that are necessary to achieve your designation. The other thing you have as a member is access to what's called Site to Do Business. And I know I use it all the time in my business. It's a great toolkit. I usually use it for maps, spatial analysis, market info. There's everything. There's all kinds of things you can do with that. It's just an amazing tool. And then the ability to use the designation itself. So in order to have your little CCIM initials after your name, you need to be a member. And you also have to be a member of NAR. Let's see. Okay. So there are also member benefits to being part of a chapter. The biggest one is that you have access to the guidance chair who will help you through the process of getting your designation. Our guidance chair is Craig Lieberman. As we mentioned before, we're going to put his contact information up on the screen in a little bit. But you do need someone to review your portfolio of qualifying experience. And in our chapter, Craig Lieberman is that person. You also have access to networking events. We have all kinds of fun things going on, and we'll get to some of those later on in this presentation as well. And then you can join a committee and get onto the board as well. So I would encourage members to participate and be active in their chapter. It's a great way to improve your business. So the first thing, there are actually four things I think that you need to do to be able to meet the requirements for the designation. And the first one is you have to complete the required courses. And there are 4 core courses. We're going to go through them. They're 101, 102, 103, and 104. It used to be that 101, this financial analysis for commercial investment in real estate, this used to be a prerequisite before you could take 102. And the Institute has recently relaxed that requirement. So now you can take CI 102 without having taken 101 first. But I think 101, it's recommended, don't you think, Michelle, to take 101 first?
For sure, and definitely before 104.
Oh yeah, you definitely do. But here's a little explanation of what you'll find in 101.
You'll
Oops,
also
I didn't start it from the beginning, sorry.
accelerate your commercial real estate career with the course professionals call rewarding, challenging, informative, and profitable. Financial analysis for commercial investment real estate is where you'll learn the language of the business. The course serves as your introduction to the CCIM cash flow model, which helps you make better investment decisions through rigorous real estate financial analysis. You'll also explore the CCIM strategic analysis model, which teaches you the fundamentals behind the numbers, and the CCIM decision-making model. After completing this course, you'll be able to apply concepts such as cap rate, internal rate of return, net present value, and capital accumulation to calculate investment returns. And you'll understand how to measure the impact of federal taxation and financial leverage on the cash flow from all phases of a real estate investment. I use the present value calculation almost every day, says one senior managing director. Everyone in the business should take CI 101. Ready to get started? To learn more and register online, visit ccim.com/CI101.
Awesome. Thank you. Our chapter we did offer 101 recently. We're going to be offering 102, this course, next month in July. So again, you don't need CI 101 in order to take this course, 102. So if you're interested, you'll just look at the website, call one of us, we'll help you out. So CI 102 is very important for rent setting, forecasting, and other investment decision factors. And it's used by all sectors of the industry. And this little map here is just a screenshot of something that I took from Site to Do Business. It's incredibly powerful, and 102 I think I use all the time. CI 103, again, we have a little clip here about what this is all about. It's very interesting. My career has always been on the landlord side, so this was a really fun class for me to hear the other side.
103 is the user side of it. So what decisions do users make in occupying space?
How to get around making the best use of your money that's in your real estate, whether you own it, you lease it, or you own it and then you sell and lease it back.
We start the class by saying, look, users look at real estate differently than an investor. So that's where 103 and the very first 10 minutes takes a divergent path from 101.
You work it as a win-win. And that's what 103 helps you understand is both sides, the owner and the user of the real estate, and sometimes they're the same.
The change in the GAAP principles has been very significant if you've tracked that over time, it took almost 10 years to get the new rules in place, which are now in place. The old rules are sunsetting.
It used to be just a bottom line, write it down, doesn't show up in the balance sheet. Well, now it's part of the balance sheet.
Those changes impact users' financial statements and their ability to borrow capital. Thank goodness we've incorporated the FASB standards, the International Accounting Standards into our 103 materials.
Do I think it's the end of leasing? No, I really don't. But you're gonna have to account for it differently.
The whole question of co-working, even just simply remote working, if you will, continues to be sort of paradoxical. What a lot of companies are saying is, well, we might support that to some degree, but we still get a tremendous benefit out of collaboration. We need our talent to come together and collaborate.
Real estate's still going to be a part of our lives, regardless of the evolution of technology. You still need a place for babies to be born. You still need a place for children to be educated. You'll still need places for people to work. It will change, no question, but real estate's not going away anytime soon.
So you can tell that this was done several years ago. And it's very interesting. One of the reasons that I liked this clip is to show you that CCIM education is very cutting edge and up to date. This was important. The new FASB rules were very important several years ago for all kinds of reporting and taxation and that kind of thing. So CCIM, you'll see it in the next slides. They do keep you up to date on what's going on. It's a wonderful resource. So CI 104, this is where all the other courses kind of come together, and you really do put a whole investment together. It's really where the rubber meets the road. I don't want to scare anybody, but I had the most fun in this course. But you'll be able to really analyze a deal from start to finish on this with this course. Both with leverage, without leverage. You'll see 1031 exchanges, all kinds of tools for you to analyze an investment. You do have to take a couple other courses. You need to take negotiations. This one is required before CI 103 and 104 because you do some exercises in both classes with that. Our chapter is going to be holding both negotiations and CI 103 in November. You need to take an ethics course covering the Code of Standards of Practice, and you need to take 2 electives from the non-core courses. And I've just got a couple of these up. These are just kind of some examples of some courses. There are so many courses that you can take. It's just amazing. I've taken communications. I've taken advanced commercial real estate development practices. Right now, we've done working with fiduciaries. Our chapter's own president-elect teaches that one. Okay, and the next requirement is you have to fulfill the experience requirements. And I can't tell you how important this portfolio of qualifying experience handbook is. It is so important. When I was talking to Craig to put this presentation together, Craig said, you have to emphasize that this handbook is the Bible for for candidates to become designees. I said, I don't think we can say Bible. I don't know. And he said, tell them whatever tome they think is as important as it gets. This is how important this handbook is. What I'm going to present in the following slides isn't everything from this handbook because I don't want anybody's eyes to glaze over, but it's so important. We're going to go through some of it and I'll show it to you in just a little bit as well. But the big thing that I want you to take away from here is read the darn handbook. Read the handbook. Okay, so in your application for the designation, so you've taken your courses, and actually I meant to say after you take 101 or 102, you should start your portfolio of qualifying, what is it called?
Activities.
Thank you, qualifying activities. I knew that.
Yeah.
And so after that, you'd really want to start it. So if you have not gotten the handbook yet, get the handbook. It's online. I'll show you where to go get it.
I can
And-
send a link too. I'll work on that and I'll send a link in the chat.
Thank you. Thank you. Perfect. And so as you go through your application, you're going to have your application, you'll have your resume, you'll have your roles and responsibilities, and you'll have your chapter recommendation. So there are 3 different portfolios for portfolio types that you can submit depending on what your circumstances are. So, but everybody has to have at least these 4 things, okay? The first one is the traditional portfolio, and that's for people who have more than 2 years of experience, fewer than 5 years of full-time experience, or you're going to be using the lease renewal or extension, financial analysis, or residential investment property as one or more of your activities. And the other things you're going to need are proof of participation, the summary of qualifying activities. There's a link also to all of these forms, so you don't have to create them yourself. And I recommend that you get those forms. Again, start as early as you possibly can. So in the handbook, if if you're going to do the traditional portfolio, you don't need to bother with the other 2 portfolio types. The second one is the streamlined portfolio, and you're going to use this one if you have at least 5 years of experience or more, and you're not going to be using lease renewals or extensions or residential investment properties. So say you're, an established broker and you've got, let's see, did I go back to that? And you've got a lot of, say, acquisitions or dispositions, I guess, in your portfolio. That's what you're going to put here.
And they
Okay.
can also put lease transactions.
Right, and lease transactions as well. They would go over here. You will need a client recommendation, and you'll need a recommendation from a CCIM as well as one from your chapter. And then you'll have a notarized affidavit talking about all of the work that you've done. And again, this is in the handbook. Let me just go through the next one. This is the non-transactional portfolio. This is actually the one that I did because I'm not a broker. I have been in asset management and portfolio management most of my career. So I needed to go do all of this as well. I had to do a notarized affidavit, do the client recommendation, get a recommendation from a CCIM as well as from the chapter. And let's see. And this next slide is talking about your qualifying activities. So this is what it is. The qualifying activity are those things that have taken place within the past 5 years. So if you have all of these volume requirements over here on this side, and they go back more than 5 years, you're not allowed to use those.
If I can interject, that the volume requirements is just for the transactional candidates, not the last one, the stream.
That's right. It's not, so the non-transactional portfolio obviously doesn't have transactions because it's non-transactional. So that's people like myself who have done asset management, portfolio management, that kind of thing. And I don't have, when you do go through your volume requirements, you'll see in the handbook what types of proofs you need to quantify and substantiate these volume requirements. And so I do want to go to the portfolio for a second. The other thing I really want to emphasize here is that Craig, in our chapter, is the guidance counselor, if you will, for getting you through this designation. You need to reach out to him for both reviewing your portfolio. He'll help you shape it and get it to the point where it can be approved, but you can't do it 2 days before the deadline. You must, I can't emphasize this enough, you must get to him at least 8 weeks before the deadline, okay? And really what he wants to do is he wants to ensure that your application is going to be approved. And also for integrity for the chapter recommendation, which he will write, as long as he knows you and, you know, can actually make a recommendation. So it's super important for you to get there to him well before the deadline, please. Okay, so now I want to go to the portfolio. Can you all see this?
Also,
So this is the handbook. This is what the handbook looks like. And this is the requirements for submitting a traditional portfolio, the streamlined portfolio, and the non-traditional portfolio. One of the things that I wanted to show you here is there's a page here that talks about things that you cannot use as a qualifying activity. So make sure to read this page, please. This is page, what is it, 5 here, looks like, in this. So please read this. And honestly, read the whole thing. Read it 5 times in a row, then read it another 5 times. I think I'm emphasizing it.
When they're reading it, they may just want to emphasize or concentrate on their particular type of portfolio. So they
Yeah,
don't
you don't have to, that's what I mean. Like if you're not doing the non-transactional, like I did, don't read that. You know, if you're doing the streamlined portfolio, you don't have to read any of the other things. But so don't let it confuse you. And if you do have a question on this, please reach out to your designation counselor, like Craig. Okay, let's get back to this. Let's see. Sorry to go through all this. Okay. So you've fulfilled that, and then you're going to submit that application. That's online, and there's a link to do that. You'll have your recommendations in hand. Everybody needs a chapter recommendation. And for the streamlined and non-transactional, again, you need a recommendation from a current CCIM designee and one from your client. Then your portfolio must be approved before you can take the next step. This is kind of a summary of what you need here by portfolio type, okay? This is also in the handbook. Read the handbook. What's everybody going to do after this? You're going to get the handbook. Okay. The next thing is to pass the comprehensive exam. And the comprehensive exam is held twice a year at a different place each year. It's an interesting factoid that if you draw a line down the center of the country from, say, San Antonio north, about 75% of the population lives east of that right now. I'm sure that's going to be changing soon. But so sometimes they hold it more on the East Coast areas than on the West. But whatever it is, you will have done all of this work and had all of this education, and you're going to go take this exam. It covers all 4 courses, as well as the negotiations and ethics. And you have 6 hours to complete the exam. The good news is there is a course, of course, that CCIM offers. It's called Course Concepts Review. And it's suggested that you take that. I took it and it was super helpful because the classes take some time to take, and you don't always remember everything that you did in those classes. So this review is really very good. Even so, the exam is open book. The really good news is you only need to get a 70% to pass this test. And it does not have grades like A, B, C. It's just a numerical grade. And if it's more than 70, you pass. So I think that's it. And then you do want to maintain your membership. As I said, once you become a designee, you need to maintain your membership in order to ethically use the CCIM initials in your marketing. Join your chapter. It's a really wonderful way to get to know people. And I think we are at question and answer now. Excellent, half an hour.
Great.
Michelle, do you have some questions?
Good job.
I don't have any questions in the chat. Is there anybody on here where use this opportunity? We've got Craig here and we're here. We're here to answer your questions, specific or not. We're happy to help you.
Wow, I guess it was comprehensive, but everybody's
Yeah,
going to go get the handbook
great
and
job.
read it. Michelle, were you
Great
able
job.
to find the link?
Yes,
For
I
that?
did send the link. The link is in the chat.
Great.
And also in the chat is Craig's direct information, his email and his cell phone number.
Great, good, thank you. And here it is
Wendy,
again.
thank you. That's great. Wendy, do you have any specific questions or anything we can help you with on your journey? Christopher has a question. He wants to know, would you recommend taking 101 if it has been over 4 years since you took the course? I can answer that and the rest of the team can answer as well, but I did. Actually mine was 104, but it had been so many years. And so I did retake it. It's just that, as Lexi was saying, if so much time has gone by, there's so much information in there, it would be helpful to revisit.
I'm
Anybody else
gonna
wanna
suggest 101 and
Christopher?
104 because there's so many financial principles incorporated in those classes. And it will help you pass your test.
I
So
agree.
if you do that just before your exam and then take the review course, you're gonna pass.
One of the other things that I love about the membership in CCIM is that as a designee, you are able to go back and take one of those courses, the core courses again, for just a fraction of the cost. It's a great refresher. I love it. In fact, I think David Hune has done that a couple times.
I have done that on several occasions. I'm a strong supporter of CCIM. The benefits to your career are not just great, it's outstanding. Everything that Lexi Moriarty has shared are in fact correct. And you're going to meet and work with and have the chance to meet some of the best commercial real estate brokers, not only in Los Angeles, but throughout the United States, when you go to the CCIM governance conventions that are given twice a year. Although you cannot say it, financially, you will be blessed, incredibly blessed by being a CCIM. God will manna from heaven on you.
Thank you, David. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're not supposed to say that, but anyway,
We're talking
but
about
I
Bible and being
appreciate
blessed.
I appreciate your contributions. And David, Michelle, Craig, we have some other people on the board, Sharon, Steve, Danelle, all on our greater CCIM LA board. And I really encourage, after you get your designation, well, first I encourage you to join the chapter while you're a candidate, because you've got access to all these designees who can answer questions and help you out. You have access to Craig and his expertise. And, you know, if you have any questions, is great. Yeah, go ahead, Sharon.
This is probably better for Steve Donnell to answer, but we do have scholarships available, and Steve Donnell is our scholarship chair.
That's true.
So if you have a financial
Right.
concern, we have some opportunities for you as well.
Well, we have a past president online here, Michael Marischal. How you doing, Michael?
Michael was my candidate guidance chair.
Wow.
That's great. Any other questions, anyone? I can't seem to get into the chat. Oops.
Well, they can contact me anytime. Just give me a little heads up. And and it would be
Oh
good
dear.
if you emailed me your questions. But when you're ready to submit your portfolio, give me a couple weeks beforehand to review your portfolio draft.
Right. Not just a couple weeks, but really a lot.
Yeah,
Many
as much as you can.
Well,
Can I,
anything else, anybody?
interject? Can I interject?
Yeah.
This is Michael Marischal. I didn't mean to ignore anyone there. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Craig, and to the group.
Hi.
You guys are doing a great job, and I just wanted to listen in and see how the chapter was going. As you know, I've helped with you guys doing some of the chapter activities, and it's been great. So anyone that wants to join this chapter, you should really do so and get involved.
Well, that's great. When were you chapter president, Michael?
2014.
Excellent.
2014.
Can you believe it's been 10 years, Michael?
I know, it's been a long time.
That's great. Well, thank you, everyone. If there aren't any more questions, please go to the CCIM Institute. Everything that you need is there, but if you have any questions, again, reach out to Craig or any one of us. Oh yeah, upcoming events. This is great. So our July Brokers Forum, both in person and via Zoom, is July 17. And then, as we said, we're going to be, our chapter's holding CI 102, the market analysis. Again, you don't need to have CI 101 before you take this, so feel free to register for this. And one of the things we're doing, which is a little different this time, is our instructors are going to hold a little bit of a lunch and learn for our current members and designees and candidates. And that is really going to kind of be a refresher course on site to do business. So I hope to see many of you here. And the link is on our chapter website, which is, I think, ccimla.com.
If I can add a bonus to taking these classes is the travel. I ended up taking 102 in Hawaii and 104 in San Diego. And they're week-long classes, so you can make a little fun out of it.
That's true. And I didn't say that. So thanks for that opportunity. That the core courses, 101 through 104, are 4 days long in person if you want to do it that way. And you can go on the website and see what courses are being offered where, and go ahead and register and take them there. So It's usually from about 8:30 to 5:30 every day for 4 days. And then you take the exam for each of those core courses online yourself, and again, open book, so no worries there. And you have, I think, about a week to take that exam also after the class. So very doable. I did it in, I think, about a year and a half myself, and I'm a recent CCIM myself, so thank you, everyone. Again, if there's any other questions, just let us know. Otherwise, have a lovely day.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Lexi.
Bye.
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 Let's